Jabez, he focused on God's love. 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 10.
That your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain.
Jabez said that your hand would be with me. You see, despite your pain, his focus is not inward, but outwards. In the Holy Land, there are two seas. One is Dead Sea. And as you know, that Dead Sea is 300 meters below sea level. The water flows in, but there's no outflow. And there's no living things because all the salt and minerals accumulated. It becomes very salty and no living things in Dead Sea because Dead Sea is only receive. There's no outflow. And that's why quite a number of us that went to dip themselves in the Dead Sea. You know, Dead Sea, you cannot swim. You cannot swim and you can only lie down. Because if you go forward, the salt water will go into your eyes and it's quite painful. Okay? And you have to lie down and relax. And you cannot dip there for too long because it's a Dead Sea. And then you become a salted fish. That's why, you see, Dead Sea is dead. No life. But there's another sea, Sea of Galilee. You know, Galilee means hub. In fact, Galilee is a lake, okay? But they call it sea. It's like the meaning of Galilee is harp. Harp is musical instrument. It's for worship. Harp is for worship, right? That's worship. And you know, the river, the water from Jordan River flow into Sea of Galilee and bring lives. Jordan River, in fact, Jordan, they call it Yardan. Dan, that means Dan. One of the Israel tribe is Dan. Dan means strife. But then, Yardan means is actually descending, going downwards, descending. That means the river, the Jordan River, stop all strife and now go into the lake. Okay, cease of all strife. Cease of all strife. And go into the lake, go into the sea of worship. That means don't strive anymore. No human effort anymore. Cease of all human effort and come to a point bathed in God's love. Bathed in God's love, a time of worship. Enjoy His presence. That's why no wonder, one of the historians, renowned historian, says that Sea of Galilee is heaven on earth. Because it was very beautiful and you have living things. You have fish. You have St. Peter's fish. You have big fish. And it's beautiful because there is inflow and there is outflow. And we need to come out to break that bondages by giving, because giving breaks bondages. Giving makes us wholesome. And giving is a way of breaking bondages and enlargement and investment. Jews are quite good in calculation and they are quite stingy, okay, in a way. You know, Zacchaeus, he's a tax collector. He was a tax collector, he had no friends. He was rejected by people. And of course, you know the story, he met Jesus, Jesus received him, he received the love of Jesus. And in the midst of the dinner, he rose up and said he will give 4 times for those people who had cheated, and he gave half of his property to the poor. He did more than what the law required. Of course, we say because of grace, he has that acceptance. But do you know that when he gave, he also know how to count, Sometimes if we think that, we give, that means I have lesser. Wow, if like that, I don't want to eat with Jesus. If not, I become bankrupt already. Because like Zacchaeus, all give his property away, his wealth away. But I believe Zacchaeus, as a tax collector, as a Jew, he knows how to count. He knew that by giving, he is breaking bondages in his life. He was not welcome, he was rejected, but through giving, the hurt is not there anymore. He knew that he can gain something. Okay, he knew that he can gain something. And he knew that through giving is for his good. He can come out from that hurts, that rejection. That's why Paul wrote to the Philippian church in Philippians chapter 4, verse 17. He said that not that I seek the gift, but I seek the fruit and abounds to your account. I seek the fruit that abounds to your account. I seek the fruit that abounds to your account. And then he said that, indeed I have all abound and I'm full. But I'm concerned is your giving, okay, that is acceptable sacrifice. It's a sweet aroma to God. It's acceptable sacrifice. It's well-pleasing God. It's well-pleasing God. And in 19, he says that, my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory in Christ Jesus. See, many times we always think, give people these words, my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory in Christ Jesus. But actually, it's in the context that giving. Because Paul says, as you give, your fruit will abound to your account. Not to Paul's account, but to your account, to the people who gave. And also, the giving is a sweet aroma to God. And is acceptable sacrifice and is well-pleasing God. And God can supply all your needs. So, the moment you give is the moment that you set free. The moment you give is the moment that you can experience his abundance. That's why Jabez said, God, make me enlarge my border and don't let me focus on myself, on my self-built boundary, but let me be a blessing. Bless me so that I can be a blessing. And he said, God, please help me that your hand would be with me. Hand indicates God's love, power, means direction, protection, and strength. You see, God's hand, God's arm is not too short that he can't help. Indeed, he's ever ready to help, ever ready to lead, ever ready to protect, ever ready to save. So whenever you go to the shop, you want to buy the battery, the ever-ready battery, remember, your God is ever ready to help you. Your God is ever ready to bless you. Your God is ever ready to heal you. Your God is ever ready to answer your prayer. He is ever ready. But sometimes we are too busy. I got to work, I have to feed my family, And sometimes we are too busy. We are too busy to seek his leading. In fact, we do a lot of running. But in the end, it doesn't help, okay? Or sometimes we think, it's a small matter, I don't want to bother God. If big matter, then only I ask him for help. But small matter, I can use my sixth sense to make decisions. God delights to lead our path. He likes to show us direction so that we won't go to the wrong way. And Jabez knows that without God, all his work is in vain. In Psalms 127, verse 1,
unless the Lord builds the house, its builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchmen stand guard in vain.
Unless the Lord protect the city, the watchmen stand guard in vain. All the work are in vain without God. You remember the disciples that they toiled all night. At least 2 incidents was recorded in the Bible. The first one was Peter and the rest. They went fishing. But they toiled all night. They caught nothing until Jesus appeared and borrowed the boat from him. And after Jesus preaching, Jesus told Peter, go and launch out to the deep. Cast your nets. But Peter, he said, what, you are joking. I lived in Galilee for all these years. You are just a carpenter. You came from Nazareth. Why you come and tell me what to do? I'm more experienced than you. I know what to do. But Peter said, at your word, I cast the net. Even though Jesus said, cast your nets, but he cast a net. But what happened? In the end, he had 2 full loads of fishes until the boat almost sank. They toiled all night without Jesus. They caught nothing. Another incident after Jesus died on the cross, and the disciples were disappointed. Oh, the one that we look up to, the anointed one has gone. Let's go back to our old career. Let's go back and do fishing. And again, they toiled all night and caught nothing. Why do you think they toiled all night and caught nothing? Here we were told by the guard, our tour guide, and he told us, you know why in the daytime you don't see any fishermen in the Sea of Galilee? Because the fishes are very smart. Daytime it won't come up. So the fishermen only appear in the night to catch fish. But again, you see, nighttime can catch fishes, right? Can have a lot of fishes. But again, the disciples caught nothing. They toiled all night until the resurrected Jesus appeared at the shore and prepared breakfast for the disciples. Jesus said, did you catch anything? They said, no. Then cast your nets to the right side. And they caught 153 big fishes. 153 big fishes. Pastor Lee told you what does that mean. Ane Elohim. I am God. I'm the creator. Is it with God that we are able to have abundance? With God, we are able to have a lot. And that's why Jabez knows that he needs God to help him. He also asked God to keep him from evil. From bad things, from adversities, from affliction, or bad and calamities. And why do you think that he said, God, please, that your hand would be with me and that you would keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain? Why did he ask the Lord that he may not cause pain? Because hurtful people also hurt others. It is like an infectious disease. It can spread. Not only that the wound is not healed, but it can spread to others. It can easily infect others. And at the same time, we are not only robbing ourselves, but we are also robbing other people's blessing. Sometimes when you share your hurts, your rejection, you can gain sympathy. People say, oh yeah, I pity you, you have gone through that. Oh, people didn't do it good to you. Oh yeah. Yes, you get the sympathy, but also at the same time, you rob yourself from the blessing. Because you only look inward like a Dead Sea. The more you say, the more things accumulate, more salt accumulate. In the end, things become dead. And not only that, you are also robbing the hearer. Why? Because, you see, when the person keep listening to all your negative feelings, after 1 hour later, the person also has that negative feeling. Also won't feel happy. Perhaps the person may have very high respect for certain people, but after you told the person, this person had done this to me, done this and that to me. Then after that, the person will feel that, that person had this thinking, have that way. And you rob yourself. You are also robbing others. I remember the last sermon that I preached, I did share about one experience when in the midst of dinner and someone told us some negative things about another minister. And we received it. But the next minute, we had the wrong picture of that person. Until the Lord had to rebuke us. Don't rob yourself, also don't rob others. You remember Absalom is one of the sons of King David. King David had many wives and he had many children from different wives. And Absalom had a sister who was quite pretty called Tamar, but she was raped by another half-brother, that is Amnon, that is King David's son, but from another wife. Absalom picked up the hurts from the sister. Yeah, I know that it's hurt because your sister had been raped by another half-brother, and then after raping her and then chase her out, it is hurt. But Absalom took revenge. He picked up the hurts of the sister, and now he wants to be a champion because the father didn't do anything. King David didn't do anything. You see, we always assume that Absalom is eyeing on the power, eyeing on taking the power from the father. But it's not. He also wants to be a champion, a hero of the hurting people. Because the father didn't do justice. Because the father knew it and then didn't do anything. So now, I want to take up the case. I want to be a hero of the hurting people. As you know, what happened? He took revenge. And in the end, he lost his calling. Do you know that he was quite a beautiful, handsome man? And he could have bright future. But he robbed himself from his calling. And also, he shortened his own life. He died young. He was killed. You see, because he was trying to be a hero. So sometimes, think that I'm okay when the person hurting people tell me something. I have to lend the person a listening ear. It's okay. I'm all right. But do you know that unconsciously, you get infected? As a pastor, we can get that infected. How much more like any one of us? And we have to be careful. If you think that the person really needs help, refer to a professional counselor. Refer the person to someone else who can do counseling and give the person counseling. Sometimes when you say, inner healing, sometimes people come and, Pastor, I need inner healing. Why? Because so-and-so have hurt me, I have not said sorry, so I want to make the person say sorry. That's not the way. Inner healing is not putting your blame on someone. I always say that inner healing is when you look back your hurts, at the same time see Jesus. Jesus was there with you. It's not to put the blame on anyone else. Because we are on this earth, we are in an imperfect situation. Don't look at our negative feeling and don't share it to people. Of course, if you want to release it, go to a professional counselor. And the counselor is able to help you. I'm not talking about a secular counselor, because secular will always put the blame on someone else. But I'm talking about a Christian counselor. Yes, what you have gone through may be true, but Jesus is always there to help you. Jesus has gone through, and He's able to deliver you. Whether the person says sorry to you or not, that is not important. The most important thing is Jesus is with you. And don't look at the negative things, the feelings. Don't fit to the negative feelings. Is it that Jabez had the right prayer and right focus? And God answered his prayer and made him to be an honorable man, and he had more respect than any of his brothers. He had more respect. See, sometimes we think that respect is because, I'm a leader, that's why you have to respect me. I'm older than you, you have to respect me. I'm so and so, you have to respect me. Respect doesn't gain by, the person may greet you, but in their heart they don't respect you. Okay? Respect, you don't gain respect through titles or through age or whatever. People will respect you because you have the life testimony. People will look at you. A person may be insignificant, but you can still respect. Like the small little captive girl. Her name was not even written in the Bible. Perhaps one day in heaven you can ask God, what is her name? Because no one knows her name. But she can gain big respect. That's why look at Jabez. He's someone who's sorrowful, who has been seen as someone who will bring bad luck to others. Yet, the Bible says he's more honorable, more distinguished than any of his brothers and sisters. And God answered his prayer because he had the right focus. Today is the same way. That because of what Jesus Christ had done on the cross, we don't need to suffer. We don't need to look at all our negative feelings, our rejection, our hurts. Whether it is real or not, that's not important. It could be yes, it could be true, but that is not important. The most important thing is put our focus on Jesus. Put our focus on the increase that God has promised us. Whether you already have your increase or not, that's not important, but God will continue to enlarge us. Enlarge our border. Do not confine God. Do not confine ourselves.